What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Fantasy Dirt live stream on Sunday. Keeping an eye on the London game, which has gotten out of hand. Hope you have all these Bears assets in your lineups. Lindsay, Rhodes, and Michael Fabiano here with you for the next 45 plus, trying to help you set your lineups. We're going to make sure that you've got the right people in. We'll take your start sit questions and try and make sure that you can win these matchups this week. Fabs, this game this morning has been not so good for our Jaguars assets. Although Evan Ingram, man, it's been a good week for the tight end. Like, we like to make fun of the tight end position and how bad it's been. We've got like 3 guys amongst the top scorers 2 games in out of 4 teams.
I think I should get extra points if I started Cole Kmet for his long snaps, because he's not only scored 2 touchdowns, but he's had to be the long snapper because the starter got hurt. So Cole Kmet is maddening because like he'll go 3 weeks and do nothing, and then we're like, yeah, we're off of him, and then he goes crazy, which he done in this contest. I think the things you take away from this game is that the Jaguars are awful. I don't know how long Doug Peterson is for that job. They do play again in London, so it'll be interesting to see if they let him go, considering they have another London game. Travis Etienne got hurt in this game. Before he was injured, he had scored negative points. I've got to go back and look historically. You know, I love that stuff. He was the running back 3 last year. And to go from the running back 3 to what he is this year without getting hurt, he's played in every game, of course, missing part of this one, an enormous fall from grace.
Let's get into some of the injury news, actives and inactives. We'll run through them real quick and then we'll start getting into your questions. Anthony Richardson is inactive. This one is big because all of the reports for the last few days were pushing us towards him probably playing this weekend. I had gone in and kind of flipped my Flacco Richardson rosters. And so I had to go back and flip them back. So just want to put that on your radar. We weren't expecting that. Derek Carr is inactive. Spencer Rattler will start. We were expecting that, firing up the Tampa Bay defense in a couple places. I am. Jonathan Taylor is inactive. So Trey Sermons, we'll see him again. Ramondre Stevenson is inactive with a foot injury against the Texans. That's not good news for Drake May, who of course will be starting for the first time this year at quarterback. Brian Robinson is out for the Ravens. Joe Mixon is active. We get him back. Thank God. Damian Pierce is also in. So Cam Akers back to the bench. Dario Gumbawale also. Rashad White is inactive against the Saints. So this is a very interesting game for Bucky Irving. You can feel more confident putting him in your lineup. You already maybe could have been playing him in your flex. I have been in a couple of places, and now you can start him safely in this one. We've got Devin Singletary, who is out against the Bengals, which means that we'll see Tyrone Tracy for one more week at least. He'll have maybe create a firm hold is the word I'm looking for on that job, because he looked really good last week. Gus Edwards was placed on IR for the Chargers. You weren't playing him in fantasy anyway, but that affects J.K. Dobbins perhaps in terms of him getting more of a share of those backfield reps. Sorry, looking at not a touchdown for the Jaguars. Malik Neighbors is out against the Bengals. Michael Pittman Jr. is active. What? A few days ago, we were expecting him to be put on IR. That's what the reports were. And now he is, in fact, going to play against the Titans. Josh Downs also active in that game. Christian Watson active against the Cardinals. For the Packers, Jacoby Myers is doubtful against the Steelers. Don't have an official active inactive because that's a 4 p.m. game, but that would be bad for the Raiders, who are already missing Davante Adams
yesterday. Yes. So you got to get him out of your lineups. And Trey Tucker, listen, the Raiders have no receivers, guys. Like they have nothing. So yeah, I don't know who they're throwing it to besides Brock Bowers and Trey Tucker.
Although if you are desperate, Trey Tucker does get a bump from that news, right? Like I don't necessarily think it means like Trey Tucker to the moon, but it does make him more playable.
I'm starting him. Yeah, where I need him in a couple of leagues. Yep.
Tight end, we've got Taysom Hill inactive. Dave Njoku is active against the Eagles, and Luke Musgrave placed on IR. So Tucker Kraft will be safely playable with that job all by himself.
Lindsay, a couple of notes on the running backs before we get to the questions. And of course, that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
In these games today, first off, J.K. Dobbins is a very good play now because no Gus Edwards. Tyrone Tracy is going to start for the Giants tonight. You could play him because Devin Singletary, as we said, is not going to play. Austin Eckler is a really good play with Brian Robinson out. And if you're desperate, like I am in a bigger league, Jeremy McNichols also is going to be someone that if you're hurting, if you need a running back or a flex, you could pick him up and play him. He's had 2 good games in a row Antonio Gibson is not a great matchup, but the volume is there. So he's now, I guess you could say, flexible in this matchup. You talked about Trey Sermon already. There are a lot of backup running backs who are going to be in starting lineups in fantasies today. No doubt about it.
All right, let's get to some questions here. That's what we're here for. As we said, real quick plug of our podcast that we do during the week, 5 days a week. You can listen whenever you have time in the car, wherever you get your podcasts. It's Fantasy Dirt, brought to you by Sports Illustrated. Sleek, welcome back. Happy to see your name again. Happy Sunday. Full point PPR. We're looking at Josh Downs, Calvin Ridley, or Trey Sermon.
Yeah, for me, it's Josh Downs. He's active. I would not be surprised if Downs had a better game today than Michael Pittman Jr. The Titans defense has given up the fewest fantasy points to perimeter receivers this year. Snead, I mean, he's been very good, and I think he'll be on Pittman. I think Downs is the play here.
All right, I can go with that, certainly. Also, keeping in mind Joe Flacco and Anthony Richardson and the differences between the two of them, Downs has been very good with Joe Flacco. Yep. Hi, Nevin. Welcome to the live stream. Need 2 running backs and a flex. It's standard. So Fabs is going to do this one on his own because I can't do math. You have Bucky, you have Eckler, you have Jacobs, Josh Jacobs, Javonte Williams, Joe Mixon, and Tyrone Tracy. Holy heck, we're picking 2 here. Okay, I know
you are loaded. Well, 2 and a flex. So,
then I know my 3. Actually, I don't know.
I'm going Jacobs. I'm going Mixon. I'm going Bucky.
Okay.
Eckler loses value because it's not PPR.
Yeah, and Javonte isn't in this conversation. Ty Tracy is interesting just because he was so stinking good last week, you guys. So I'm really, really interested to watch him get another opportunity to get it done this week.
By the way, Gabe Davis scored another touchdown, and no one started Gabe Davis. Nobody. And
and he had that drop early. Like, it's not even.
I know. Unbelievable.
Yeah. No, thank you. No, thank you.
The Jaguars are not our fantasy friends today.
We need the Jaguars to win. Those touchdowns should have gone to Brian Thomas. That's all I'll say about that. Okay. Carl, is it time to release Kincaid? I mean, is it time to release Kincaid, Fab? So it's the tight end position, dude. I don't know.
I mean, Carl, who are you going to use at tight end? Like, I get it. I mean, he hasn't been good. I don't love him against the Jets tomorrow night either, but I don't know who you're going to play. Like that. It is. I mean, they talk about an embarrassment of riches. I mean, like at tight end, it's an embarrassment of just poor. It's awful. They're terrible. Almost all of them are struggling. And so if you cut Kincaid, who are you going to play? I can't cut him. I can't.
Also,
people are going to start him. People are going to start him. You have to. You're kind of screwed.
That said, we have 3 tight ends who have really smashed so far. Like the odds, like that's all the big names that are allowed to have good weeks. Like the rest of the names have to be names that we've never heard from before. Like that's the way that the tight end position works. Now that we've,
well, the thing too is like not for nothing, but not a lot of people started Cole Kmet this week. I mean, like maybe out of desperation you started him. Like Evan Ingram would have been started because he's Evan Ingram and because he's active. But I don't know that a lot of people started Cole Kmet, honestly.
God. I mean, we need to revisit that situation because we've been telling people no Cole Kmet because Shane Waldron doesn't use his tight ends like that because they have so many wide receivers. Keenan Allen back in the lineup. We kind of have thought that was an either or situation, like it's Keenan or it's Cole Kmet, and apparently that's not true because both of them are crushing today. Turgay Kegler, hi. McBride.
That sounds like a Game of Thrones name, by the way.
Ooh, it does kind of.
Yeah. It does kind of sound Games of Thrones-y. Yeah, I like that.
McBride, Shaheed, Tolbert, or Pittman.
So first off, I wouldn't go with Tolbert here, but I do like him. And that's just not me being a Cowboys honk. I think he's going to have a good game against the Lions. So you start him where you need him. I got to be honest with you. It's between McBride and Pittman. I'm afraid of the Saints receivers today. And maybe I'm going to be wrong, but Spencer Rattler's making his first NFL start. And I just don't know.
Yeah.
What this kid's going to bring to the table. I don't know. I have no idea. So I'm afraid of Olave. I'm afraid of Shaheed. And so it would be McBride or Pittman. And to be honest with you, because of the matchup, I'd probably go McBride. And I know Flacco. Here's the thing. Flacco being back absolutely helps Pittman. He might have the worst matchup of any perimeter receiver in the league besides Brian Thomas, who's playing today and doing nothing. And when you look at the injury, this guy a week ago, like Lindsay said, was going to go to IR. And I'm
Yeah.
afraid that like one hit, something knocks him out of the game. I'd rather be safe than sorry, and McBride's your best option.
Yeah, the Pittman thing is weird with the injury. I just don't even understand how the extremes were so extreme, and then we're gonna feel confident about putting him in today. Also, Javonte versus Najee. I gotta go Najee, even though.
Well, remember, Jaylen Warren's going to be back in this game. I'm still going to go Najee, though. I'm still going to go Najee. Yeah, it's rough.
I just don't trust Javonte. I don't want to be the running back. I don't want to be that running back in that offense. Like, I don't necessarily need that in fantasy. I can't count on it. That said, Najee, you're going to get 10 points. Just like put your brain in this, like, and thank you for my 10 points. That's all you're going to get. If you get there early, that's your max. You're like done for the day. Like, look away. It's not going to go up. Trey Tucker or Calvin Ridley in non-PPR. That means standard. Are you trying to trick me into answering this by putting PPR in the question, even though it's not PPR, Lucas?
I'm gonna go Ridley. I don't love him though. I don't love him, but I'm gonna go Ridley.
That tightens.
I'm sorry. That was such like a depressing answer, Lucas. I apologize. I'm gonna go Ridley.
Yeah. Way to go, Fabs. I'm sure he'll come back. Foxborough News. You need help in a 16-man half-point PPR. We've got Eckler, we've got Dowdle, we've got Olave. I don't want Olave in this situation normally. That's my. Go ahead.
I'm playing Eck.
You're playing
at half point per catch. Yeah, I mean, no Brian Robinson. You know, let's not forget Austin Eckler was the best running back in fantasy football not too long ago. And now you would think some of those potential goal line opportunities are going to go to him. I mean, obviously McNichols could see some work as well, but I would think this is going to be a high scoring game, right? The total's wicked high. So I'm going to go Eckler.
Wait, how high?
Wicked high. That's a Northeast thing. Like the Connecticut people, we say wicked sometimes.
Oh, yeah. Connecticut people. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the next question here. We've got Evan joining us on X. We've got Ford. We have Braylon Allen, or we've got Jerry Jeudy in his flex half-point PPR. Thank you for watching.
Evan, what is up, my friend? Sorry about your luck here with these options.
About your options?
Great. I'm probably gonna go Jerome Ford, but I hate to like play anybody like from the Cleveland's offense, but you've got 2 of 3, and I like Braylon Allen. I mean, I like the matchup. Braylon Allen could have a good game, but I'm expecting Breece Hall to kind of get his act together. Tomorrow night. We'll see what happens.
Fingers crossed.
I'm gonna go Jerome Ford because I know the targets, the touches are gonna be there, but I mean, you're crossing your fingers.
All right. Yeah. I'd go with Ford also. Blaine, we've got J.K. Dobbins or James Conner, full point PPR.
I'm going to go Conner here.
Okay. Conner, we've got Arizona facing Green Bay, and we have J.K. Dobbins facing Denver. That defense has been crazy good. So I think I am with you also. Man, and by the way, J.K. Dobbins, who started off so great, maybe that bye just kind of like, he had a couple of down games, and then the bye makes it like kind of out of sight, out of mind. So maybe we're not.
Now you have no Gus, but I will say this, folks: if you're in a league where Vidal Sassoon, as I like to call him, Kamani Vidal is floating around on the waiver wire, you might want to make a speculative ad, and the same goes for Audric Estime, just to stash him and kind of see what happens
if you've got space. Steven Smith. You need 2 wide receivers and a flex. That's what we're choosing from here, Fabs. Okay, we've got Wan'Dale Robinson, Christian.
Well, I'm glad you didn't play Christian Kirk because he's already stinking today.
Yeah, that one's out. Okay, so our options are Wan'Dale Robinson, George Pickens, and Tank Dell, and Alexander Madison. So we need 2 plus 1.
You ready?
Yeah.
Wan'Dale and Tank.
Wan'Dale and
sit and get Pickens. I don't like Pickens today.
Well, you get a flex. So now you're choosing between Pickens and Alexander Madison.
Madonna me. I'm going Pickens in that case. Yes.
Yeah.
Sit Madison.
Okay, Sheldon, we've got Olave or Deontay Johnson. Deontay Johnson's been weird this week.
Deontay is coming into the weekend questionable. You expected to play. I'm playing him over Olave.
Okay.
That's a 4:25 game. Remember, the Carolina East Coast team is playing a later game, which is weird.
All right. I'm looking up to see what the latest is that we hear. And we're hearing that he's going to play. I'm trying to figure out more details about Deontay Johnson. James Cook hurt little practice playing on Monday. Should supersize Senpai sit
Senpai,
him for
yeah.
Bucky Irving or gamble and start him?
Think
A
the last.
follow-up question here. Do you have another option if for whatever reason James Cook was out?
Yeah, like if you have Ty Johnson or
Ray
Ray Davis,
Davis,
somebody like that.
somebody else
Uh,
that you could pivot
in that
to?
sort of scenario, I'd play it safe and go with Bucky Irving because, like, dude, he's going to be the guy. Like Sean
Yeah.
Tucker will get some burn too for the Bucks, but Bucky Irving's going to be the guy in that game. So I don't mind that. Like if Rashad White was active, then I'd probably say I'd wait for James Cook, but he's not. And this Bucky Irving should get 15 touches in this game, I would think.
And you
At
know that
least.
he's like, this is my shot. Go
Yeah.
win the
Yeah,
job. I mean,
exactly.
for
Yeah.
whatever that's worth. Okay, I can get behind that for sure. And it's not like Buffalo's offense has been like they've been so bad for the last couple of weeks. So we don't even know what, running back in that offense looks like. Blaine is looking to start one of these three. We've got Cooper, Amari Cooper, George Pickens, or Jamison Williams. It's full point
You know what's
PPR.
funny?
Hmm.
Cooper has the best matchup of the trio by a mile, and
Yep.
I don't want him. I'm starting
Can't.
Jamison Williams. I
Me too.
I don't know. I have a sneaking suspicion Jamison Williams is going to have a good game against the Cowboys today. I don't know why. I think he's going to have a really good game. I think it's going to be a high scoring game. The Cowboys defense is banged up. I like Jamison Williams.
Yeah, he's one of those guys for me that like rotates between flex and bench, and it's kind of
Right.
matchup related. And I just put him in also. So I co-sign that one. Thank you very much for the question, Blaine. Appreciate you being with us. All of you guys, we appreciate you guys being with us again. Fantasy Dirt Podcast 5 days a week, wherever you get your podcasts. Odie wants to start Laporta or Trey Tucker. I assume this is a flex question.
Yeah, I'm going to go Laporta. I know Laporta hasn't been great, but again, the chance for a high scoring game. I don't know that Pittsburgh Vegas game is going to be super high scoring. Same with the Denver Chargers game. I'm going to go Laporta.
Someone tried to trade me this week, Laporta and Darius Slayton for Deontay Johnson.
I mean, it's not an unfair trade.
No, it's not at all. But I was thinking, like, are
trade.
they thinking? I had to look up who. Like, I mean, I know who it was, but I was like, does he have any ties to Kansas City or something like that? Is this like anticipation of Deontay Johnson getting moved and wanting to get ahead of that? Anyway, I didn't respond, which makes me suck. But I would have said no. And then he made a trade with somebody else. Anyway, we're looking at Kyler Murray or Justin Fields. Let's start there for Tristan.
Yeah, so this might be just me, and Lindsay, you could chime in on this one. I don't love Kyler Murray today. I don't know why.
He's been pretty good.
I mean, well, he's had 2 good games. Jair Alexander is back for Green Bay. Maybe he takes Marvin Harrison Jr. out of things. I mean, the Raiders stink. Yeah. I'm going to go Justin Fields. You may disagree. I'm taking Justin Fields.
No, it's even. I mean, it's so close that it's kind of like I would also say, Tristan, when he just said Justin Fields, were you disappointed? Do you want to is this like one of those ones where like, what you really want to do once you get your answer, and let that sway you? Because it is kind of close. I think I would go Fields in this situation also, largely because of matchup related reasons. Justin Fields really needs to have a good game today. Like, this is like, we've already started hearing the whole
Russell's going to be active now. Yes. Right.
Yes. So that hook is there. And I don't know if that's good pressure and he'll respond to that positively, or else, or if he'll just like fall apart under the pressure. I don't know. We'll find out, but it is a good matchup. And so I think I would go with Fields. Okay. He also needs a flex, and we're looking at Ladd McConkey or Trey Sermon. And I would go Sermon.
Yeah. So if I'm assuming it's PPR, I mean, I kind of assume everything is PPR. I do have Trace. I have Trey Sermon ranked ahead of McConkey. I actually do like McConkey today in that game. I think he may be the Chargers' best fantasy option at wide receiver this week.
Wow.
But I'm going to go Sermon. I mean, I don't love Sermon's matchup, but I just know the touches are going to be there. And McConkey's not, a knockdown drag out, you got to start kind of play.
I mean,
hey, there we go. Cairo Santos kicked a field goal. I need that. Sorry. Cheering. No cheering in the press box, Fabiano.
Also, Ladd McConkey's going up against Denver's defense, and you know what that means. And he's the best wide receiver, and So he could see a lot of our friend Pat Surtain. That has not bode well for any wide receiver this year. Like you can't play your wide receiver against him. I don't know that that's necessarily the matchup that he's going to draw specifically all the time, but I would definitely go with Sermon in this case. This is Rachel Tootsie Pop 6, which by the way, if there are any ladies here, she does an awesome huddle up, unwind. She does a lot of great like women in fantasy football events. So go follow her if you're interested in looking for that type of a community. She's in a guillotine flex. No, she is in a guillotine league and she is looking for a flex.
She needs a flex.
Two separate thoughts. J.K. Dobbins, Rashid Shaheed, or Tank Dell, Fabs.
I'm going to go J.K. It's close between him and Dell, but I'm going to go J.K. Lindsay wants Dell. I know she always likes Dell.
No, I think you're right. I think you're right because we know he's going to get the volume. It's a really tough matchup. I don't love the matchup at all. And Tank Dell with Nico out, I think he gets a bump. It's between those two for me. I think I could be swayed either way, to be honest with you, because you could make an argument for volume of JK with Gus Edwards out, but then I'm scared by the matchup. I might go Tank. just because he has the opportunity, even in a low volume situation, to put up a big number. We haven't really seen it from him this year. Nico being out, I think they need to get the ball to him. So I don't know. Those are both good plays, though. Shaheed, I would stay away from because of the Spencer Rattler situation. Just a massive unknown there in New Orleans. Keith, thank you very much for being here. We're looking at Joe Mixon, Austin Eckler, or Tyrone Tracy. And in this particular case, half-point PPR, I'm going Mixon. I know we're all freaked out about the first game back. I know Fabs really likes the game situation for Eckler with Brian Robinson out. We like Tyrone Tracy. But I think in this case, Joe Mixon is easily the best running back of the three. And you gotta trust that. You'd kick yourself. Do you agree, Fab?
Yes. Yeah. So you're going with Mixon, who I'm playing. Yes. Are you going Tracy over Eckler?
Ooh, that's a good question. Probably not. I don't know. That's tough. That's tough because that's volume.
In half-point PPR, I'm going to take Tracy.
You are.
Eckler. But I literally have them.
The half-point. See, I told you I can't do the math. Everything in my brain is PPR. So I need you to literally like, Lindsay, it's half point. Please remember.
I will help you, my friend. Yes.
Adjust your answer accordingly. DP, AJ Brown coming back against Cleveland or Darnell Mooney. Can you believe that's a question that we're asking? And it's actually not a bad one.
AJ Brown's back and I'm playing him. But DP, like, is there somewhere else you could play Mooney? Like, I mean, I don't know what the rest of your lineup looks like, but boy, he's got a great matchup. I mean, I don't think he's going for 30 again like he did, a week ago, but still, Carolina's bad. Like, you're watching the Jaguars defense on TV right now, how bad they are. Carolina's that bad. So I would try to get Mooney into my lineup, but not over AJ Brown.
Yes. To all of that. Kale Jensen, Pittman or Slayton? Whoo, Slayton. You gotta go.
I know.
I'm going Pittman. In this situation.
I am too, but Kale, I would not be surprised if Slayton ends up having a better game. If Flacco weren't the quarterback, I'd think about it a little bit more. And I've already said I hate the matchup for Pittman, but I'm going to go Pittman.
The thing about Slayton is that, like, so we put up a big number last week. He will certainly see targets again this week with Neighbors out. But it feels a little bit like last week when we were like, it's Wandell and who. It could be a different who this week. Like, there's no guarantee that all of a sudden Darius Slayton just like steps into Malik Neighbors' role, gets all of those targets multiple weeks in a row. I'm a little bit wary about that one. Though I don't think he's a bad play this week. Obviously, we're having this, conversation and not just answering it straight out and moving on. So, but I still go Pittman there. Brent Thomas wants to know between Jaden Daniels at the Ravens or Jalen Hurts versus the Browns. Ooh, this is a good one.
First, let me tell you, put one of them on the trade block and take the best offer because you don't need both. Like, you don't need both. I'm going Jalen Hurts because he's got AJ Brown back. He's got Devontae Smith back, and the Browns are in a tailspin right now. My quarterbacks this week, Lamar, Jalen, and then Jaden.
Wow, wow.
So I mean, like, if I have those two guys, unless I'm in a super flex league, which this clearly is not, I'm trying to trade one. Those guys are so valuable, and to have one on your bench every single week kind of sucks. So I'm starting Hurts, and I'm putting them on the block, and I'm going to see what offer is the best one, and I'm taking that trade.
Okay. Easy Raider 916.
Another one. See, another very smart fantasy manager who went out and got Jaden Daniels, who I loved, by the way. And now you've got an excess. You've got like a unbelievable situation at quarterback.
Yeah.
So now benefit from your smart draft decision.
Yeah.
And trade one of these guys away. I'm starting Lamar Jackson in this game. He's my number one quarterback. Go ahead.
Yes. I was just going to say, I'm in this type of a situation in one of my leagues. It's Dynasty. And so on the one hand, I'm like, I should, but I'm also like, I want to hold on to the young one, but I want to play the older one now. And so, in some of these types of situations, it gets a little bit trickier. I don't know if this is Dynasty situation, but I like Lamar in that matchup very much. Fabs and I both played him this week in one and done, meaning we can only play each player one time all year long. We chose to play Lamar this week. We like that matchup very much for him. And I trust the Ravens in that matchup much more than I trust the Commanders, by the way. Jacob is in a guillotine league also. Pittman, Alec Pierce, Dobbs, Romeo. Okay.
Romeo.
Because of the way it's spelled, I was like trying to figure out if that was short for Dobbins because I'm a little bit slow anyway, or McNichols. It's not McNichols. I would not trust McNichols.
Yeah, I'm probably going Pittman here. Again, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm not like glowing over the answer. Like, but just
Alec Pierce is like the only healthy guy. You've got Josh Downs.
I know. He also, again, like he's a perimeter receiver. It's just not a good matchup. The Titans they have the number one pass defense in the league.
I mean, I don't. Okay. Nick Rose wants to know if it's Pickens, Pittman Jr., Jameson, Williams, or Tank Dell. 0.5 point PPR.
So if this is just one out of those, it's funny because I have like some of these players I have ranked very closely, but I have Tank Dell ranked the highest out of that group of wide receivers.
Okay. I think that I would go Jameson and then Tank and then Pittman and then Pickens. Okay. That's the order that I would go in for them. Michael, wait for James Cook. This is this is literally the exact either or that we had earlier. So
he's got a little, is that a Beamer in his avatar, I think? I know I love cars. Go ahead.
Okay.
Michael, cool avatar there.
So again, Michael, we had this question earlier, so you're not alone in this dilemma, right? Like it's a tough one. Do we wait because James Cook doesn't play until Monday? What are your other options there? I think Bucky is actually, as Fab said earlier, I don't think he's a bad pivot in this particular situation because he's getting. Well, I'm just saying. Normally, I would say wait for James Cook. Like normally, you want to play
Rashad White's
this
out,
guy.
right.
But in this particular situation, I kind of think that Bucky is a safe enough play that you can afford to just put James Cook on the bench for 1 week and just sacrifice it. Kyle wants us to pick one full point PPR: Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir if he plays, Romeo Dobbs.
So I'd probably just wait because you have the insurance. Like that's Dobbs,
true. Either or
suspended last week. Watson's back today. Obviously, Jaden Reed's good to go. Dontavian Wicks. So like they have their full complement except for Luke Musgrave, who's on injured reserve. I'd probably rather just wait. And then, if Shakir plays, I play him. If he doesn't, Coleman gets into the lineup. I mean, it's a lousy matchup either way. But I'd probably wait on that. Just Dobbs has just not done anything this year so far. So it's not that Coleman's been bananas good, but I mean, at least you've got both.
Even though Watson is back, I've benched Dontavian Wicks everywhere, taking one for the team. So he's probably going to have a good week too. So yeah, I don't think we can go with Dobbs anyway. But I do agree with you because you have a backup plan there for Khalil. I would go Khalil, and then if he can't play, just go ahead and plug in Keon, as Fab said. Matt Mullins, good morning to you also. 0.5 point PPR, Chase Brown or Jerome Ford, Algier, or McNichols.
So I'm guessing you need one out of that quartet. Chase Brown's going to play from all reports, and he would be the player that I'd have in your lineup. I know that's a tonight game. New York, you got Mets and Giants tonight, and then tomorrow night you got my beloveds in the pinstripes, and you got the Jets. So New York sports fans are going to be happy because they got some highfalutin games going on in a couple.
Highfalutin is what he said. Yeah. Okay. Yes, because we're expecting Chase Brown. I'm just like waiting for, I understand being worried at this point about Chase Brown because you don't have any of those other options to pivot to at that point. But there's
Yeah, but
probably
he got in
somebody that you
practice
could
at the
pick
end of
up
the
off
week.
the.
I
But
think
yeah,
he's
and
okay.
so again, I'm having a conversation we probably don't even need to have, but let's say something weird happened at the end of the day and they said he's gonna be out for some reason. Chances are probably good that amongst the Bills, Jets, and Giants, one of their other running backs is available, right? To like plug in on your waiver wire, depending,
Maybe
like
Ty
Braylon
Johnson or Ray
Allen
Davis. I don't know. Yeah.
or
Yeah.
Braylon
Braylon Allen. Yep.
Allen or
Mhm.
Tyrone Tracy if somebody hasn't picked him up. So there are actually other good options that you might be able to add at the last second if something were to happen. Tracy or Ford?
Yeah, Tracy all day long. Yeah.
The Browns, dude. The Browns are so bad.
Yeah.
Keith, Mixon, Tracy, or Eckler? Half point PPR.
I'm going Mixon. I
Yeah,
mean, Mixon's been out a while. He should be healthy.
I agree.
He's been out a few weeks, so.
I agree. I'm going Mixon in that case also. Felix, half point PPR. We're looking at Pittman, Zach Moss, or DeAndre Hopkins, and I'm going Pittman in this situation.
Are you half point PPR? I'm going to go Zach Moss here against the Giants.
Okay. I don't know how much burn. He doesn't have that backfield all to himself anymore.
I get it.
So
Pittman's matchup is just brutal, though. That's why I'm trying to avoid him where I can.
you are really sold on the Titans defense. I'm not scared of the Titans defense.
Lindsay, perimeter receivers are averaging 8 points a game against Tennessee this year.
Tell me
8
this.
points.
Tell me this. Is that because nobody has to throw on them because everyone has a lead and so everyone is running the ball against them and everyone's running the ball successfully because everyone always has the lead?
But when
I
you're
think that's
talking,
it. I don't think it's about I think if
but
I were
when
to
you're
pull up
talking,
like EPA or something that actually tracked efficiency, I don't think the Titans are near the top. I might be wrong, but this feels like the
they're
reverse. I
the
tweeted a
number one
thread.
pass defense. They have the number one pass defense in the league right
Again,
now.
I need you to tell me what you're saying that by. Are you telling me that by yards allowed, which does not tell the story of whether or not somebody is good or not? I've got a great Twitter thread about the Vikings defense that tells this story in reverse. In fact, Babs, you could go check it out. Salt, if you haven't allowed a lot of yards or you have allowed a lot of yards, that does not tell anybody whether you're good or not. It just tells people the story of
All
the
right,
script. In some
now
cases, it does.
okay. The Titans have faced DJ Moore, Keenan Allen,
Again,
Christian
I don't.
Watson, Jay
That's not the
Waddle,
point.
Tyreek Hill. Listen, Garrett Wilson, Jaden Reed. There's a lot of good names in there. The highest scoring wide receiver scored 8.6 points, starting their routes out wide.
Right.
That's
again, my question was not that. My question was how big a lead have those teams had on this team, and are they ever throwing? What is the pass run ratio? What is the efficiency numbers for Tennessee?
So that was a close game. Green Bay killed them 30-14. That was the Malik Willis game, if you remember. They destroyed Miami, so Miami had to throw the ball in the second half, but their quarterback was garbage. We remember that game. So I just think they're good. The Jets 24-17. That was a close game. I just think they're good against the perimeter. Garrett Wilson, Aaron Rodgers played. I mean, so DJ Moore, who Keenan Allen just had a big game. I'm just saying, based on the numbers, the Titans have been good against perimeter receivers.
They have held the numbers low. Let's go to the next question here. Ridley or Jalen Tolbert, 1 point PPR.
I'll say this, Sal. If you feel like you need a high ceiling type of play, I would not be opposed to going with Tolbert. I'd probably start Ridley. I just like Tolbert, and it's not a Cowboys thing. I think the Cowboys are going to have to score points to beat Detroit. And Jalen Tolbert, do you know Jalen Tolbert has had double digits in 3 of his last 4 games in terms of PPR? It's been pretty good.
I'm looking up Titans stuff, by the way. The Titans, you're correct in terms of they have done well from an efficiency standpoint.
I told you. You see, guys, how she doesn't believe me. This is what I have to deal with 5 days a week.
You weren't telling that story.
She doesn't believe me.
But you weren't telling that story. You were telling that story based on volume stats. But the other ones, you're right. Okay. All righty. Will Levis or Aaron Rodgers, half point PPR. Oof.
I love you.
You got to go, Aaron.
I got to go Aaron Rodgers. Will Levis has an awesome matchup today. Awesome. But it's Will Levis. Like I'm so afraid that Will Levis is one stupid interception away from Mason Rudolph taking the job today. I'm going Aaron Rodgers. I don't love either one though.
Same. Chase Brown or Antonio Gibson? This is a full point PPR question for Chad.
Chad, looking very dapper, my friend. I'm going Gibson because of Stevenson's absence.
Okay. We do like that game environment. That game is gonna be fun. I can't wait. I can't believe that that's a 1:00 game. No, Gibson. Never mind. I was thinking Eckler. Timeout. Sorry. Antonio Gibson and Austin Eckler.
She's on the West Coast, folks. She's had a little brain fart there. That's all.
What does that have to do with
You're tired. It's early.
I've been up for hours, dude. We had a football game at 6:30 a.m. today, Fabs. No one's tired over here. I'm just stupid. Kofi, Slayton over Lazard. PBR?
Producer Doug, Vegas Doug, can we please get that clipped for the show?
That
we need that soundbite. I'm going Slayton over Lazard.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Next one here. Hope. Hi, Hope.
Hope, what's up, buddy?
Deontay Bay Johnson. Deontay Johnson or Josh Downs?
Go Bay. I'm going Deontay Bay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
By the way, you're not allowed to say Bay. Like that feels I don't know.
What? Doesn't Bay mean like it's a loving term? Like, oh, that's my Bay.
Yeah, I know. That's why it sounded weird for you to jump in and be like, you should go with Bay.
I'm both Bay. We're each other's Bay. You're my Bay.
Okay. Chad is back with his, and it is a nice picture, isn't it? Dontavian Wicks or George Pickens, full point PPR.
Go ahead.
I'm going Pickens.
I know where you're going.
No, I'm going Pickens. Oh, did you know I was going to go? Oh, you knew that because I already said we're done.
Like all week that you're off Wicks. So.
Well, I'm off Wicks so that you guys can enjoy his talents because I am the cooler with Dontavian Wicks. My love and support is just putting pressure on him that he doesn't need. He can't get it done. Dude's playing so well except for catching the ball, which you'd think is like the one thing that a wide receiver, like that's the first thing. That's the first thing that they can do well. He's doing the hard things well and the easy things poorly. It's crazy, which tells me he's going to figure it out. And then he's going to be very good. And all of the things that we've been talking about for the last 6 months, they're going to come true. He just needs to figure out how to
when you say cooler, you remind me of Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse. Dalton. He's the cooler.
Jay Huber. Bucky Irving or Tyrone Tracy or Eckler.
Whoa. And it's a full point PPI. I'm going Bucky Irving. But I like all three. Hard not to.
How would you order them?
I feel like
I'm curious.
I feel like
1, 2, 3.
But in that order, it's Bucky, Trace, and Eckler in my rankings. Okay. And like literally they're like all like right next to one another. I just think this is like the spot where Bucky's got a shot. Like Lindsay said earlier,
for sure.
So like maybe kind of take that job away from Rachaad White. Okay. So New Orleans' defense is going to be on the field, I think, a lot because I don't know what their offense is going to do with a rookie quarterback getting tired. I like Bucky Irving.
Christopher Soriano.
What's up, Chris?
He wants to know. He's the one that you have all the fun conversations with about all of your like 10-year-old lingo. He wants to know if you should. That's exactly what it is.
All right, I know.
You're using words that my son uses, or did 4 months ago.
Trying to get that younger audience,
Are we flexing Tank Dell or Darnell Mooney?
I like both. They're both. What do we say? 1,000. What is that again? What's that term? I can't remember now.
Aura
1,000. They're both Aura 1,000. I like Mooney though over Tank Dell.
I like Tank Dell over Mooney.
You like Tank Dell over everybody.
This week there's no Nico. He's not.
I get it.
Third in the read structure, right? Like I'm
gonna do my high voice. Darnell Mooney's playing the Panthers today. They stink.
I know that's true. There is that. That. But who does Houston play?
New England. Their defense is not that bad.
Okay. Antonio Gibson or Josh Downs, Fabs?
Francisco. This one's tough, bro. By the way, this one's tough. I typically side with the running back because I know the touches are going to be there and there's no Ramondre Stevenson. And as Lindsay so astutely put together her beautiful Titans rant about how good they are against wide receivers earlier in the show. I'm going to go Gibson here.
You're
Go ahead. She almost called me the A word.
I did. And I think I probably could here, but anyway, I would go the other way in that situation. Hello, Mr. or Ms.
It's
May.
going to be May. This is for you. I'm sitting back.
Oh, I like that. My bad. I should have. Okay. This is a standard league question. You can do it. See, you know me. Chuba, Xavier Leggett, or Pickens. This is Chuba.
Well done.
I did a standard
Chuba
question
all day long.
Yay.
Well
I
done.
feel like you threw me a softball there just to like get me to ease in and unlock my brain. I'm going to have a growth mindset from here on out about standard leagues. Yeah. I'm not just going to turn my brain off when I see that word. Thank you very much. It's gonna be me. Will Hicks, Chuba Hubbard, or David Montgomery.
Start them both. Please start them both. By the way, folks, if you did not listen to our interview with David Montgomery on Fantasy Dirt early in the week, please do it. It's still affecting me. And it's Sunday. It was so good. So good.
Fabs hasn't called anyone trash yet.
I'm not going to do that anymore. Unless, Jerry Jones, I'll call many things. But I love David Montgomery this week. He's playing the Cowboys. I have actually texted David Montgomery and I said, take it easy on my team.
Guys.
He's not going to do that. The Cowboys are bad against the run. I love Chuba. I don't know, Will, if you could start both. I don't know. I mean, you must have a pretty loaded backfield, but I'd really like to start both. I love Montgomery, though. I love Montgomery in this game. So I'd probably go DM, but I'd start both of them if I could.
I'm going David. He just got paid. It's his week.
Got the extension.
It's his week. Right. By the way, what I just realized when you were telling everybody to go listen to that podcast episode, which again, I co-sign. He was incredible. Love him. Is that you're going to name drop David Montgomery now. Now we're going to have to add David Montgomery to all of the names about like, I texted him about that touchdown and I'm going to have to deal with that. Dylan, thank you for being with us. Full point PPR. We're looking for 2 flex players. Alec Pierce or Dontavian Wicks, who it is not, or Rashad Bateman versus Washington.
Bateman's a little sneaky against Washington because their defense is not great against wide receivers. I would go with Pierce and Bateman here.
Okay. I think yep. Wicks is scary, man, with Watson back because these are the stat lines where he was like 0 for 1 target. Right? Like when Watson was.
I know, but you know how crazy fantasy is. If Dontavian Wicks scores a touchdown today, I'm going to text you or call you and be like, unbelievable.
No, all that would mean is that I did the right thing, that I was unselfish in my benching him so that you all could enjoy his talents. Like I'm doing this for you guys. Okay.
That's right.
Text me.
Lindsay Rhodes is some sort of savior to the fantasy football community when it comes to Dontavian
welcome.
Wicks. Yeah.
Stroud or Fields is what Eddie wants to know.
Stroud.
Yeah. In fact, I have that either or, and I'm going with Stroud. Rachel is back. Can't decide between Tucker Kraft or Jerome Ford in Scott Fish. Now, Scott Fish, remember, Fabs is tight end premium, ! I would go Tucker. Yep. Oh, and she also wants you to know that she knows that you're doing well in Scott Fish.
I'm doing all right. I got to be honest with you. I might be in trouble this week. I may drop out of number 1 overall because Jordan Mason.
Look at that. Did you guys see that? Did you hear that? I might not be a number 1 out of 4,000 people anymore because.
I'm just saying. I'm a little worried about Jordan Mason. Okay, go ahead.
So much.
Oh, wait. We got Funkhauser back. Funkhauser from Curb Your. I know it's Thankhauser, but I like to say Funkhauser. Brett, what's up?
Standard.
Let's see if Lindsay wants to take another one.
I'm going to try it. Oh, gosh. It's all running backs. Okay. It's Mixon. It's Tyrone Tracy. It's Chase Brown. It's Bucky Irving. I'm going to go Mixon and Bucky.
Winner.
Yay! I did it right. Yep. Well, we'll find out in a few hours whether I did it right. Tracy would be number 3 on that list for me. Christopher Soriano
is back.
Who has the most Riz and is not mid? That's his question.
Thank you. I got Riz. And Lindsay's not you. Mid.
Not of us. He's asking that about these guys that he's asking about for his flex spot. Okay. But of course you made it about you. Tyrone Tracy, Pickens,
I said
Najee.
You're not mid.
Okay, thank you. Actually, I didn't even listen to your answer. I just sort of was that
The
you're going
typical.
in the direction that I was. Okay, he's leading Dobbins and Pickens. We're looking at Tyrone Tracy, Pickens, Najee, J.K. Dobbins, Darnell Mooney. This is half
Pickens
point, only one.
Pickens to me is kind of cringe. I'm going JK and I'm going Mooney
Oh
out of
my
that group.
J.K. and Mooney, but it's only one.
Oh, I'm sorry. And then in that case, see, because it's half point people.
I'm not going J.K. against Denver.
That's it made it tough. I'm going Mooney.
All
Mooney
right.
to the
Okay.
Mooney. Yeah.
I'm going Mooney, and then I'm going Tracy.
Okay.
Just because I like Dobbins. I think Dobbins is maybe a little bit like low key sneaking up on us again this week, but no, not this week because it's Denver. Next week he'll sneak back up on us. Austin for my flex spot: J.K. Dobbins, Tank Dell, Zach Moss, or Jamison Williams. We'll get to the Josh Allen question in just a sec.
I mean, I know Rhodes is going Tank Dell.
No, I like Jamison. I like Jamison in this one.
Really? See, I have Tank Dell ranked ahead of Jamison, so I would be going Dell.
What's happening here? We're all out of sorts with how we're seeing
Just
this.
like
But
you
you
said.
have a much more thorough process in terms of rankings. I'm like, here's what my gut is telling me.
I like Jamison a lot. I just think I think Tank kind of.
I think they're kind of same tier, and so I don't know that there's. We all know that to a degree, like it becomes a roll of the dice at a certain point. Like we don't know how the game's going to go. We're just predicting kind of what we think of talent, matchup, and environment and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that there's a wrong answer there until they actually score and we find out which one is the wrong answer. Kaylin Jarvis, flexing one for PPR, Tank Dell, Garrett Wilson, or Trey Sermon.
Isn't it funny that this is an actual question? When you think of where Garrett Wilson got drafted, where Tank Dell got drafted, and that Trey Sermon didn't get drafted at all. It's crazy. And we're in week 6. I got to stick with Garrett Wilson.
Tell me about the matchup against the Bills.
I don't love the matchup against Buffalo, but I'm sticking with him. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, to be quite honest with you. Garrett Wilson got targeted 20-something times last week. Not that that's going to translate into this week. I would just rather go with Garrett because, it's just best player in that case.
Goff or Flacco?
Goff against the Cowboys, high scoring game. Goff. Cousins or Fields? Oh, wait a minute. I gotta go to the rankings here because this one's
close.
Wicked close. It's wicked close, and I don't want to give you the wrong answer. I've got Fields 2 spots ahead of Cousins, but I like Cousins a lot today.
I might go Cousins in this situation just because if we like his matchup and we like his matchup, I think he's more trustworthy. I think Fields is like this, right? And so his ceiling might be a tiny bit higher than Cousins, but his floor I also think is probably lower than Cousins and maybe by a lot. There's definitely a scenario where he gets the hook and Russell Wilson comes in and plays this week. I just don't know, what. There isn't consistency out of Justin Fields yet at this point in his career, so I'm not 100% sure. In that case, I would bet on the safe bet. Allen, PPR, Daniel Jones, Jared Goff, Josh Allen.
It's bananas.
We're doing 2.
This is how worried people are about Josh Allen, and I don't love the matchup tomorrow night, and I don't think he's going to have a great game. But he's not going to have a great game as a passer, that's for sure. I'm sticking with Allen though. Daniel Jones would be the guy who's on the outside looking in.
Yeah. Yes. Nicole, standard. Ravens, Bucks, or Eagles DST. Here's a question. Does standard affect that? Does standard affect defense?
Well, I mean, if she's playing in a league that's kind of like a public league and it's just, an ESPN scoring, maybe standard, something like that. My guess is that it's just typical points for sacks and picks and stuff. Nicole, I have the Eagles defense ranked number 1 this week because the Browns are a hot mess. Now, do I like the Bucks? Hell yeah, I do. Against that rookie quarterback. I don't like the Ravens. The Commanders have one of the most impressive offenses in the league. Eagles are coming off a bye. They're at home. It's a game they should win. The Browns are giving up a ton of sacks. I got to go Eagles D.
Yeah. And by the way, Ravens, I was talking about the difference between the volume defense stats and then the efficiency stats that kind of go next level. Ravens are allowing a lot of passing yards
Yes.
against, but they are
Cincinnati last week.
also
Yes. Yeah.
but they are also not doing well against it. Like, if you just take each environment, like the Vikings are actually very good against the pass. They just are being thrown on so much because they are always in the lead and people are playing from behind. So people kind of look at that like, oh, they're, 30th in pass defense in terms of yards allowed. They must be bad. That's not the case. But where the Ravens are concerned, it does tell more the story. I expect them to turn that around at some point, but they have not done that yet. Dylan is looking for one of these full point PPR. We're looking at Zay Flowers, Terry McLaurin, or Tyrone Tracy. Oh, no, we need to sit one. So we're looking for two of these three.
I'm sitting Tracy. It's full point PPR. Flowers has got a great matchup. He had a big game last week. McLaurin's been, just absolutely riz, and he's got a really good matchup against a defense that got smoked by Chase and T. Higgins last week. I like Tracy, but in a full point PPR, I'm taking the 2 wide receivers with the good matchups.
Okay. I don't hate that answer. Zay scares me. They just don't throw the ball that much, but I could see a scenario where
Had a good
they
game
do
last
today
week.
against
They're not going to I think they could throw the ball 30, 40 times today. Like, this is going to be back and forth. Neither one of these defenses is like superb. So against the pass.
Okay. Murray or Fields?
Yeah, I'm going Fields here. It's close. I'm going Fields.
Wait. Go back. He had another question. Also pick one: Wandell, Deontay, or Rashid Shaheed. So Wandell or Deontay?
Wandell.
All right, Wandell is the answer there. Mark Crafter over Laporta?
No, but I would try to trade one of them. It's too late now, I think, but I would be trying to trade one of them. But Kraft is a good play. I'm going to play Laporta again. That Cowboys game is going to be a high scoring game.
Okay. Kraft's been better this year.
Sharon, with the Yingling, little lager there, low for us there. Little Yingling.
All right, let's do rapid fire. Just a couple more here. Dell Harris or Mooney in the flex full point PPR. Najee's not the answer. It's Mooney or Dell.
I think I have Mooney ahead of Tank. Yeah,
I'm going Tank. But I get the Falcons have a very good matchup. Daniel Jones or Kyler Murray? Kyler. Mike, Tyrone Tracy or Rico Dowdle?
What are we doing? Southern accents now? Tracy.
Mac, Tyrone Tracy or Rico Dowdle?
Tyrone Tracy.
It's a Cowboys question, Fabs.
No Rico Suave this week in that one. No.
I don't know. Derek wants to know if he should start Pittman or Williams. It's Pittman. I would never start Javonte Williams. That's a me thing.
Go ahead. That's fine. Got another one.
Can't. Okay.
Ridley over Pittman. I'm going to go Pittman there.
Yeah, same. Oh, Spears or Moss?
Oh, Rizzolio. That sounds Italian to me, Moss.
There's no EO. It's Rizzolo.
Moss. Like risotto.
It's
or
Moss.
People yell
Jen is in the thread and wants to know if you could sing her birthday song. Is it your birthday, Jen Piacenti?
It's her birthday, yes. Joe Mixon over Bucky Irving, yes.
Joe Mixon over Bucky Irving.
Yeah.
But Bucky's going to be good today. Oh, my God.
Doug, do we have more questions or what? Before we sing happy birthday to Jen?
Well, can we do, I was just going to say, can we do Jen 23s? Because he's also saying that his question has been skipped and he was, we don't want that to happen multiple weeks in a row. Cowboys. Are you going to read them? All right,
no,
we can't read them at the same time. It's confusing.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Have the Cowboys D while also playing Goff. Should I drop Sermon and pick up Love or the Eagles D perhaps? And then we'll get to the
Eagles D, please. The Cowboys D is a bad play today. Bad play. Bad.
And pick up what, Love? He also has the option to pick up Jordan Love.
If Jordan Love is available in your league, Gen 23, I want to be in your league. And yes, you should pick up Jordan Love and play him over Jared Goff. And I would still pick up the Eagles defense and play them over my beloved Dallas Cowboys. Yes. And Kamara and Moss, Sermon and Flex might sub him out for Moss or Tracy. If Sermon is in your flex, I'd rather have Tracy or Moss. I'd rather have Tracy.
Okay, for the second part of the question, I'm going to sing in the tune of Happy Birthday. Have Kamara in one and Moss two with Sermon in flex, but might sub out Moss for Tracy.
And you guys thought I was a bad singer. I'm going Sermon over Dowdle.
I can't believe you did that without it in front of you. Like, there's no way my brain would have processed a single word that I had just said. You guys are the best. We really appreciate you being
Happy
with us.
birthday to you.
Yay,
Happy birthday
Jen!
to
Who's
you.
29
Happy
years old, you
birthday to
guys.
the
Babs
princess.
thinks he's a singer.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh,
Towards
God.
the end of this
Okay.
break.
Is
I did that
anyone
on purpose,
left,
by
or
the way.
did
It was bad.
everyone leave immediately as soon as you started
Sorry,
singing?
guys.
Thank you guys for being with us. We're back again, 5 episodes a week, Monday through Friday. On Monday, we've got a reaction to today's games. Tuesday, we've got your waiver wire. Wednesday, we have rankings, risers, fallers, and Jen Piacenti joins us. We'll look ahead at Thursday night props that she likes. On Thursday, we do starts and sits. On Friday, we've got our one and done draft. We also have Jen with props for the weekend, and we have, of course, all of the injury updates that influence your start sit decisions. We really appreciate you guys being with us here today. A happy birthday to Jen Piacenti, and we'll see you tomorrow on Fantasy Dirt.